Morning folks. Right, a bit of a tech review this morning, but I just want to show you the polytunnel and what we've been doing with that. So as you can see, we've got the polytunnel up and we've got the skin on. Now come on in, come on in. So you can see we've been building these beds, so we've got this nice long bedding. That's the first one we've managed to get done. We've got a load of seeds ready on the go, but you can see on this side we've also started construction of this. I've run out of timber, so all these are offcuts that I've been getting, and it's doing the job fantastic. Now the reason we wanted to do this film is we got approached by a company called AFERY a couple of months ago now, and they asked if I was interested in one of these, which is a portable power station. Now, as you know, whenever I get offered stuff to do collaborations, I always try and tie them in with either the photographic side, or now obviously we're doing the homestead and we've got all the work around the property. So something like this and a machine of that capacity is absolutely invaluable. I've been using it the last couple of days in here. I haven't got the reach for an extension from the power supply in the barn, so that has been powering the circular saw. I've been using the rotavator outside. I've been using the table saw as well, and it's fantastic. It's a big unit. It's a 2,400 watt unit. So what we'll do now, we'll chuck that in the tractor trailer because it weighs a ton. It weighs 22 kilograms, but it's a big capacity unit. We'll take it out the front of the house. We'll go and have a sit on the bench, get a brew. We'll have a natter about it. I'll tell you some details about it, all the technical specs, and I'll tell you what I'm going to be using it for and why. If you're a wildlife photographer, or if you just like working on your property and you've got bits of land, and why something like this can be a real asset to you. Right, let's get a brew and we'll talk about this unit. Right, we've got the unit up here via the little tractor, the trailer, because it's a lump, it's a big unit, but there are bigger ones and the smaller ones as well in the AFERY range. So, as I was saying before, why did I want one of these? Well, where we live, you can see looking down there, we're out in the sticks a bit. So talking to the neighbours and the locals, we are prone to getting the odd power cut and that, and not like when you live in a built-up area, you have a power cut, it might only be off for an hour or two and it's reinstated. But out here, if a tree comes down, takes one of your power lines down, it can be, well, it can literally be days before you get your power supply back up and running. So something like this is absolutely invaluable, especially with a freezer or a fridge. Everything else you can kind of cope with really, and this was one of the considerations why I decided to take on the collaboration, because this is going to be super useful. If we do get a power cut, I can bring it into the house, get it plugged into the fridge and the fridge freezer, and it'll keep that running because it's a big capacity unit. I always keep it fully charged, so all the time it's at 100%, and that way you've got that emergency backup. So we've had it for a couple of months now, this unit. I always like to, when I do collaborations now and I get products to review, I don't like reviewing them straight away, because you're kind of getting a false impression, if you will. It might work fine when you get it, and you know, after a while it might start, you might recommend it and it might not be up to it. So we've put it through its paces. We've been using it a lot. I've been using it up at the top meadow where we've been doing a bit of tree cutting back. I've been using my little pruning hatchet, so I've been recharging that. We've done a bit of construction work up at the top, so we've had saws going. We've had you'll see the footage that we had down near the shepherd's hut, so we've been using it with the rotavator and we've been making all them borders, so it's fantastic for that. Now, those of you that follow the channel will know that we're putting the shepherd's hut up at the top. It's going to be off grid. The price of getting electric from here up there was a fortune, because it's such a long run, you've got to buy a big whopping cable, and it was just too much money, so we're going off grid. This is going to be invaluable for that. We're going to be able to power the lighting from it, and also like a small compressor fridge. And we've got, well, we'll go through the unit in a bit, but we've got 240 volt mains there. We've got an inverter, so we can run 3 sockets off that. So charging wise, if we want to charge it up, we can, there's 4 different ways of charging it. So we can charge it directly off the mains, we can charge it via solar, we can charge it by plugging it into the car, and we can also charge it by plugging it in the mains and solar at the same time, so it brings that time down. This is the solar panel. So size wise, I think it's 200 watts, this one. I'm not 100% sure, but I will find out. So again, quite a decent size, but it folds out. It's like a 4 panel solar panel. There you go, look at the size of that. Latest technology. Today we have actually got some sun, so what we do, you can see on the back here there's a pouch. We unzip that. It's got a number of leads with it. That's our, yeah, it's a 200 watt solar panel, this one. We'll bob that back down there. Oh, there's all the technical details. So 200 watt, IP65, so it's waterproof, so you can use it outside. That's our socket there. We just open it up. Look at that, sun's just come out just in time. So you can see at the moment, let's have a look. I've still got the plastic cover on the front. No, we'll leave that on, it's all right. So at the moment we're at 79%. What you'll see when we plug this in, so there we go, straight away it's recognised the input. So if the camera lady moves out of the way, you can see there, that's the input. So we've got 70 odd watts coming in, and this gives you the actual time that it will take. So at the moment it's not it's a little bit overcast, so we're talking, well, it's fluctuating between 11 and 12 hours. If I'm up at the top, or I'm, you know, working on the land somewhere that's remote, if it's, you know, if I'm using quite a bit of juice, it's always nice to have this plugged in, and it's just constantly topping the unit up. So while we're talking about the unit, I've left it plugged in. We've actually, if you look round here, I'll flick this one up, we have these little legs that just pull out, so that gives you support, and it has the solar panel at a nice angle so that it's facing the sun and getting maximum solar energy to recharge the unit. At the moment it's just bobbed behind, so we're only getting 22 watts, but we'll highlight that when that sun comes out. We'll see what a difference it makes to the actual charging time of the unit. So let's have a look at it. As I said, it's quite a lump, this one, 22 kilos, so it's not something you're going to be lugging around. They do some nice, small, compact, portable units, and they do some big ones that are twice the size of this, that literally will run everything in the house. So, top of the unit, we've got a little tray there with a lid on. I just keep a collection of various leads in there. Yesterday, when I was working in the polytunnel, I think I was recharging 2 of my cameras. I had the phone on charge, quite a few little devices, you know, that were just drawing from this unit. So if we have a look at the side of it, so that's our 240 volt AC input. If we've got it plugged into the mains, that's our solar input. We've got an overload protection button there. We've got fans in the side for if it does start overheating. Going to the front of the unit, we've got this nice big display panel there. You can see the sun's just come out a bit more now, so we've gone up to 46 watts and it's giving it 15 hours, but it's still a little bit cloudy. But that'll keep changing as we go along. So this side, this is our DC side. We've got a 12 volt 10 amp. We've got a 12 volt 25 amp output, and we've got these 12 volt 3 amps. So we've 4 outputs there. Down here is our USB side of the device. So we've 2 of our, let's have a look. We'll get the correct lead out.
Put the tap number now.
Oh, there we go. It's changing again all the time. So we've got 100 and what have we got there? It keeps flitting about. So that connection that we've got 2 connections there. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 USB-C connections. So we've got 100 watts, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 at 20 watts. I'll stick them back in the top. I don't lose them. Main power button there. Press and hold. We've also got a light, which in a situation where you're in the house, you've got a complete power cut, you've got a light source so you can see what you're doing. On this side, pure sine wave inverter, so a much more stable output. Flick that up, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 240 volt socket outlets, and all you do, you put your plug in and press that, and that'll kick in. So with all those outputs, you have potentially 13 devices that you can charge at one time. You've 4 there, 2, 4, 6 there, and 3 on that side. So you know, it's a big old unit. It is a cracking thing, and it's certainly going to get a lot of use where we are. I'm using it pretty much every day at the moment. Now the unit, this comes with a 7-year warranty, which is fantastic. I think that's testament to how good that AFERY think these products are. So 7 years, it's in this day and age, it's pretty unheard of. So super impressed with that. They've got some really good deals on at the moment. I'm going to put a link in the description, so have a look at AFERY's website, see what deals they've got on at the moment. There's various deals with different solar panels. As I said before, there's different size of solar panels. You can get bigger ones than that. You can get 100 watts, 200, I think up to 500 watts. So you can see there at the moment, that sun's come out. We've got some really strong sun. It's given us 175 watts of input, and it's only going to take 2 hours to recharge, which is a really good facility to have. Having that solar panel, it's a must, I would say. Going back to, you know, why photographers will want one of these. Well, everyth's powered by battery nowadays, isn't it? You know, I mean, when I go away, I've got me drone, me vlogging my vlogging cameras, my main camera, and it takes a lot of juice, you know, no matter how. Batteries are expensive. I know my Z9 batteries, they cost a fortune, so I have only got a couple of them batteries. If I'm away for a few days, I need some way of recharging them, and generally I'll be wild camping or car camping. Just chuck this in the back of the car and I have all the power that I would ever need. I can run a little cool box. I've got an electric cool box that'll run that. That's pretty frugal on electric, so this, because of the capacity of it, it will last a long time, easily do me for a few days. And then don't forget, if you're travelling between locations, you just plug your cigarette lighter into it, and as you're moving along, it's constantly charging. When you get to where you are, if the sun's out, bang the solar panel out, and again, you're constantly trickle charging that unit and keeping it up to its capacity. So there might be 3 or 4 of you away on a day trip, and it's just having that backup to be able to plug stuff in. Mobile phones, everyone, you know, everyone pretty much has a smartphone nowadays, and if you're using it quite a bit, they drain down. If the car's not running, you need a power source, don't you? And this will do the job perfectly. So for photographers, absolute no-brainer. I've used it up when I've been doing photographing the toenails for running the continuous light system. Put it on the deck, put a cover over it to keep it dry. It does come with, it calls it a dust cover. I don't think it's waterproof. I might be wrong, but all I do, I just tend to drape a mat over it if there's a bit of a shower and keep it, you know, nice and protected. You don't want the unit getting wet. So that's it for this one. That's the AFERY 2400 watt portable power station. I think you'll agree it's a fantastic unit. I've been using it regularly, put it through its paces, and it's doing everything that it says on the tin. So yeah, well chuffed with it. So just a short one this week, but those of you that have bought a coffee this week, massive gratitude, thanks very much. What we have been doing lately with the Buy Me a Coffee money, we've actually been buying trees, which I think you'll agree I think it's a better use of the money. We've recently bought 105, I think we bought, so that's fantastic. You know, I think it's like I said, it's a better use of the money, so really appreciate that. It goes towards our little rewilding project. We planted 20 of them the other day. We've got a few more to stick in, so that's brilliant. So thanks very much for watching. We'll be out again with the camera this week. We've been so busy getting the polytunnel up this week. I've not really had a chance to get out with the camera, but you can't be out with it all the time. We have got a lot of stuff to do here. So thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. It helps massively. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one.